Have you ever felt like an entire day passed without accomplishing something meaningful? Have you ever wondered why you're always busy, yet never seem to get closer to your goals? Or maybe you're waiting for the perfect moment to start something important, but that day never seems to come. These aren't just your struggles. They are challenges many of us face: the waste of time. We constantly complain about not having enough time, but as Stoic philosophy teaches with its timeless wisdom, the problem isn't the lack of time, but how we use it. In this video, we'll explore how Stoic principles can guide you to manage your time better, not with abstract theories, but with practical and powerful strategies to live more effectively. From saying no to unnecessary distractions, focusing on what really matters, to taking action even when circumstances aren't ideal, these ideas are transformative. These principles aren't just theoretical, they are hard-earned lessons from Stoic philosophy and my own experiences. They are a map to reshape how you perceive time, how you act, and ultimately, how you live. So focus, listen carefully, and don't miss a single detail. Sometimes, the right idea at the right time can spark a life-changing transformation. Let's start this journey together right now. Number 1. Say no to what is not essential. In a world full of invitations, demands, and constant distractions, mastering the art of saying no is more than a necessary skill. It is a profound philosophy of life. The Stoics viewed time as the most precious gift in life. Seneca, in his work on the shortness of life, wrote, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Time itself is not fleeting, but we often spend it on meaningless activities, tedious conversations, unnecessary meetings, or draining relationships." Take a moment to reflect on your day. How much time did you dedicate to what truly matters? On the other hand, how many hours were wasted on social media, sensational news, or obligations you didn't need to accept? The ability to say no is key to reclaiming your time and dedicating it to what truly holds value. Saying no doesn't mean rejecting opportunities, but consciously investing in what enriches your life. However, many people feel guilty when turning down requests, fearing they'll seem selfish or indifferent. Stoicism teaches that saying no is not a lack of care, it's an act of protecting your personal freedom. Imagine you're working on an important project or learning a new skill, and a friend invites you to the movies at night. Will accepting this invitation bring you closer to your goals? If not, turning it down is not rejecting the friendship, but affirming your priorities. Every time you say no to the unnecessary, you are saying yes to what truly matters. This is not just a refusal, it's a wise choice. Steve Jobs, a master of focus, once said, "Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things." Rejecting something doesn't often close a door, it opens up space for bigger opportunities. This is the essence of the Stoic mindset, to remember that energy and time are limited and should only be spent on what holds true meaning. In practice, this isn't easy. Think of a typical workday. Emails flood your inbox, phone notifications never stop, and colleagues demand your attention for trivial matters. Before you know it, the day is over, and little has been accomplished. This is the cost of not learning to say no to distractions. The solution lies in refusing politely but firmly. For instance, if a colleague seeks your help while you're focused, you could respond, "I'd love to help, but I need to finish this task first. Can we revisit it later?" This type of response protects your time and respects others. Seneca advised, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." This applies not only to relationships, but also to daily decisions. Surround yourself with what promotes your growth and reject what steers you off course. Practice identifying situations where you often struggle to say no, like a casual outing when you need to rest or an unnecessary conversation when you prefer to read. Rehearsing polite but firm responses, like, "Thanks, but I have something important to finish today," might seem challenging at first, but gradually it brings freedom. Saying no is a statement of self-worth and a defense of what truly matters. In our chaotic world, Stoicism reminds us that time is finite and should only be devoted to what deserves it. Every time you turn down something unnecessary, you move one step closer to a meaningful and fulfilling life. The Stoics emphasize the importance of daily self-reflection as a way to stay true to your values. A simple but profound question to ask yourself every night is, what did I say yes to today that I should have said no to? This reflection not only increases your awareness of how you use your time, but also helps you better align your actions with your values. By learning to say no to the unnecessary, you gain far more than you lose. First, you regain time, the most valuable resource you have. Instead of letting it be drained by unproductive invitations or meaningless distractions, you free yourself to focus on what really matters, pursuing meaningful goals, growing personally, or simply enjoying moments of quiet. Moreover, rejecting the superfluous preserves your mental energy. In a modern world full of distractions, saying no is how you assert control over your mind. Every time you turn something down, you protect your mental space from being invaded by external demands. This brings not just freedom but also joy, as you focus on people and efforts of true importance. Above all, saying no is not a sign of selfishness, it is an affirmation of your values. You can't please everyone, and that's okay. Refusing is not neglect, it is a way to protect your time, energy, and focus for a deeper, richer life. As Seneca wrote, "Begin to live now and count each day as a separate life." Life is not just about existing, but living with purpose. So start today. Look at your schedule, your commitments, and ask yourself, is this really necessary? If the answer is no, have the courage to decline. Every time you reject what doesn't matter, you create space to live a life aligned with your values, aspirations, and deeper purpose. Number 2. Prioritize what truly matters. When you learn to say no to what is unnecessary, something profound happens. Eliminating distractions isn't enough. Even when you free up time, if you don't use it wisely, you might still find yourself caught in a whirlwind of meaningless activities. This is where the next step comes in. Prioritize what truly matters. Saying no helps you refuse what isn't worth your time. Prioritizing helps you commit to what is essential. The Stoics didn't just eliminate excess. They lived with an intense focus on their core values and goals, believing that this brought true meaning to life. Therefore, the question isn't how to get more time, but rather, how to dedicate the time you already have. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to be swept away by a flood of tasks, invitations, and the noise of everyday life. But are all of these things really essential? The Stoics teach that a meaningful life isn't about doing more, but about focusing on the few things that truly matter. Prioritizing isn't just a time management strategy. It's a way to take control of your life, rather than letting trivial matters control you. Start by reflecting on where most of your time is going right now. Do these activities really bring you closer to your long-term goals? Epictetus once said, "If you wish to improve, be willing to appear ignorant or foolish in irrelevant matters." The point is clear: to achieve what is important, you must be willing to let go of what isn't, even if it means being misunderstood or disappointing others. Consider the case of a typical office worker who constantly feels overwhelmed. He spends the day answering emails, attending unnecessary meetings, and helping colleagues with small favors. By the end of the day, he realizes he didn't have time for truly important tasks, like developing a long-term strategy for the company or learning new skills. Now imagine if he said no to low-value activities and focused on what really mattered. Not only would his work be more effective, but he'd also feel more fulfilled. That's the power of prioritization. To understand the true strength of prioritizing, consider the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. This principle shows that 80% of results typically come from 20% of efforts. This means not all tasks are of equal value. Focusing your time on the most critical 20% can yield extraordinary results. Imagine the same office worker, instead of burying himself in trivial tasks, identifying and focusing on strategic initiatives that truly drive the company's growth and his own personal development. By prioritizing the 20%, not only would professional outcomes improve, but his life would also become more balanced and meaningful. Stoicism reminds us that we can't do everything, but we can choose to do what matters most. This isn't just the art of prioritization, it's the foundation of a well-lived life. For the Stoics, prioritizing what is important is a daily practice. Start by listing all your tasks and goals. Write them down without initially worrying about their importance. This exercise not only clarifies your workload, but also relieves your mind from having to remember everything. The Stoics believed that clarity is the first step to control. Once your list is ready, Start categorizing the tasks into 3 groups. Do immediately. Important, but not urgent. Not important. The first group includes tasks that cannot be postponed, but be careful, not everything that's urgent is important. The second group, important but not urgent, is where your energy should be focused. These are the tasks that offer long-term value, like developing a skill, building meaningful relationships, or taking care of your health. While they may not have immediate deadlines, neglecting them can lead to lasting regrets. Think of these tasks as seeds that need consistent care to bear fruit in the future. The last group, not important, is where time-wasting activities reside. These often give the illusion of being busy but contribute little to the value of your life. We're often drawn to these tasks due to a desire to please others or a misguided sense of obligation. The Stoics teach that saying no to what isn't important isn't selfishness, it's wisdom. It's a way to preserve your time and energy. Once identified, eliminate or delegate these tasks. Doing so not only frees you from unnecessary burdens, but also enhances your focus on what truly matters. When you know what needs to be done, take action without delay. The Stoics emphasize the importance of immediate action. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." There's no perfect moment to start. There is only the present moment. Even small steps can bring you closer to your goals. Hesitation only leaves plans unfulfilled. It's important to note that prioritizing what matters doesn't mean being selfish. The Stoics believed that focusing on meaningful priorities benefits not just you, but also those around you. By managing your time and energy wisely, you become the best version of yourself, capable of contributing more to your family, friends, and community. Finally, prioritizing isn't just a skill, it's a way of life. You don't need to do everything, but you should do what truly matters. Ask yourself, if I don't do this, will I regret it? The answer will guide you. And if it starts to seem difficult, let yourself be inspired by Marcus Aurelius' wisdom. Make every act of your life as if it were your last. Your life is yours to shape, and time is your most precious tool. Live like a Stoic, with simplicity, purpose, and meaning. What matters most to you? Start prioritizing it today and get ready for the next lesson together. Number 3. Focus fully on one task at a time. How many times in a single day are you interrupted by a phone ring, an email notification, or the urge to check social media just for a minute? These interruptions not only steal your time but also undermine the quality of your work. According to a study from the University of California, it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds for the brain to fully regain focus after an interruption. This means that distractions don't just consume precious minutes. They leave you operating in a diminished state of attention, far below your true potential. Stoicism is not unfamiliar with this dilemma. The Stoics were acutely aware of the brevity of life, emphasizing that wasting time is the greatest sin one can commit. However, time is not only lost to trivialities, it slips away when we lose focus. Multitasking, often glorified in modern culture, takes us away from the present moment, fragments our attention, and steals the depth of our actions. Imagine a professional chef at work. For him, cooking is not just chopping vegetables, stirring pots, or plating dishes, it's a ritual. His mind and hands synchronize into a single flow, and every detail carries meaning. A skilled chef doesn't let himself be distracted by the noise outside the kitchen or by scattered thoughts. With the knife in hand, he focuses on each cut, feeling the precision of the blade as it slices through the vegetable's texture. When the oil sizzles, he listens attentively, as if it were a melody, savoring the aroma of the ingredients blending together, watching the transformation of colors and textures. This goes beyond cooking. It's absolute focus on one task. Every action, every second, contributes to excellence. The result is a dish that is not only visually stunning, but also infused with passion and presence. Now, think about your own daily tasks. Have you ever sat down to work and dedicated all your attention to a single task? Without looking at your phone, without scattered thoughts, just pure immersion in the moment? If not, you're not alone. Most people are swept away by numerous distractions. But imagine what you could accomplish if you approached your work like the chef, fully present and completely engaged. When you focus deeply on one task, the quality of your work reaches new heights. You notice subtleties that others, distracted and scattered, might miss. Not only does your performance improve, but you also experience a deep connection to the task, as if every ounce of energy and intention is perfectly aligned with the moment. This elevates your results and allows you to understand the true value of what you're doing. Focus also makes your time more effective. Without distractions, you don't waste precious moments switching between tasks. The uninterrupted flow of concentration channels your energy efficiently, propelling you toward your goals. Time becomes more valuable, not because you have more of it, but because you dedicate it to what truly matters. Moreover, deep concentration offers an unparalleled sense of accomplishment. Completing a task with your full attention brings a unique joy, not just from the results, but from the meaningful effort itself. In contrast, multitasking leaves you exhausted and unsatisfied, unable to truly appreciate anything you've done. Epictetus once advised, "Keep your attention focused entirely on what is truly your concern, and be clear that what belongs to others is their problem, not yours." This wisdom highlights the essence of focus. While you can't control everything, you can control how you approach your work. If you have the option to dedicate yourself fully to a task, why waste time and energy on what's beyond your control? Focus is not just a skill, it's an act of self-respect, a commitment to the values and goals that matter most. To cultivate focus, start by eliminating distractions. Your environment plays a crucial role in your mental clarity. A quiet space, free from the noise of phones and notifications, signals to your brain that the task at hand is your priority. Organizing your environment is like telling yourself, "Now, this is all that matters." Imagine you're reading an engaging book, but every few minutes, a notification pops up, or you check social media. An hour later, you realize you barely absorbed anything. Now, imagine turning off your phone, silencing distractions, and giving yourself an uninterrupted hour to immerse in the book. The difference is noticeable, not only in comprehension, but in the deep connection you feel with each word, as if your soul merges with the story. A practical way to train focus is using the Pomodoro technique. Choose a task, set a timer for 25 minutes, and work with full attention. When the timer goes off, take a 5-minute break to relax. Repeat the cycle, and you'll discover that focus is not an innate gift, but a habit built step by step. Mindfulness also sharpens focus. Sometimes, simply sitting in silence and observing your breath helps center your mind. By paying attention to each inhalation and exhalation, you learn to set aside distractions and return to a state of calm. This makes it easier to approach your tasks with clarity and intention. Finally, always remember the greater purpose behind your actions. Before starting any task, ask yourself, will this bring me closer to my ultimate goal? For the Stoics, this wasn't just a reminder, it was a guiding principle to keep focus on what truly mattered. Whenever you feel the temptation to get distracted, remember, your time and energy are finite. Use them wisely, or they'll slip away into the void of distractions. The Stoics believed that living fully in the moment is the only way to truly live. Time is irretrievable, and how you use it reflects the value you place on life itself. Start small. Choose one task, dedicate yourself fully to it, and complete it with care and focus. By doing this, you not only elevate the quality of your work, but also deepen your appreciation for life's inherent value. So, what will you choose to focus on today? Number 4. Stay aligned with your goals. After understanding the power of fully dedicating yourself to one task at a time, it's time to expand your perspective. Every small action should be connected to the bigger picture of your life, your ultimate goal. The Stoics didn't just emphasize excellence in current tasks. They encouraged us to align everything we do with a clear purpose. If focus is the tool, then purpose is the compass that guides its use. Without knowing where you want to go, even the most flawless efforts can become futile. As Seneca said, if a man does not know to what port he is sailing, no wind is favorable. Goals are not just about tangible results. They represent mastery over your mind and attention. In today's world, filled with constant distractions, the ability to focus on what truly matters is a skill to be cultivated daily. When small distractions arise, ask yourself, can I control this? If the answer is no, Why allow it to consume your time and energy? Consider a different scenario: an office worker overwhelmed by emails and endless meetings. Without a clear priority, such as completing an important project, he risks getting bogged down in urgent but irrelevant tasks. A Stoic would advise setting clear priorities and rejecting unnecessary interruptions. Focusing on goals doesn't mean the journey will always be smooth. Obstacles are inevitable. As Epictetus wrote in Discourses, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think of a marathoner dealing with minor injuries, bad weather, or stronger competitors. He pushes forward because his goal is to cross the finish line. Similarly, in life and work, staying true to a higher purpose helps overcome difficulties. Achieving goals requires both determination and practical steps. Start by defining your goal with absolute clarity. It's like holding a map. Without a destination, you'll inevitably get lost on countless paths. Write a specific and measurable goal. Vague aspirations, like "I want to be successful," don't get you far. But a clear target, like "I want to save $10,000 this year," illuminates the way. Once defined, break the goal down into manageable steps. Don't let a large ambition overwhelm you. Remember, even a masterpiece is made one brushstroke at a time. If your dream is to write a book, commit to writing 500 words a day. Small, consistent actions pave the way for great achievements, and daily progress creates momentum. Eliminating distractions is equally essential. Notifications, aimless scrolling, and unnecessary interruptions are time thieves. Set firm boundaries. Turn off unnecessary phone alerts, limit social media use, or reserve specific hours for focused work. These aren't sacrifices, but intentional choices to protect your focus. Before taking any action, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to my goal? This simple question holds immense power. It illuminates your path, distinguishing what deserves your attention from what doesn't. If the answer is no, have the courage to set it aside and redirect your energy toward what truly matters. No goal can be achieved without regular reflection. Time passes quickly, and without pause, you may stray off course. Set aside weekly or monthly moments to assess your progress. Are you getting closer to your goal? Do you need to make adjustments? This practice not only keeps you focused, but also allows you to celebrate small victories along the way, each one a step closer to your dream. Remember, tomorrow is not guaranteed. As Seneca wisely wrote, "Life is long, if you know how to use it." Value every moment, using it intentionally to move closer to what matters most. Don't get lost in trivial distractions. Instead, live with purpose, focused on meaningful goals. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Living with purpose is the most beautiful lifestyle Stoicism teaches us to pursue. Do you agree that time is the most valuable asset we have, and that focusing on our goals is the best way to make the most of it? If this message resonated with you, show your support by liking this video. But if you have a different perspective, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't hesitate to share your opinion in the comments. These discussions deepen not only our understanding of time management, but also the true meaning of living a life with purpose. I look forward to hearing your ideas. Number 5. Take action, even when it's inconvenient. We're not lacking time, but we often waste it on unnecessary things, senseless habits of procrastination, and vague hopes for a perfect moment. Day after day, we tell ourselves, "I'll start tomorrow," or "when the conditions improve." But that tomorrow ends up becoming an endless excuse, a vague promise that never materializes. Time passes, taking with it the opportunities to live a full and meaningful life. Every fleeting moment is irretrievable, and procrastination isn't just a thief of time, it slowly erodes our determination. Think for a moment. Have you ever avoided making an important call simply because you didn't feel prepared? Maybe you thought you needed more time to prepare or waited for the right moment. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. Those who achieve success and happiness in life don't wait for inspiration. They act despite the obstacles and inconveniences. They understand that action is the most powerful tool for transformation. As Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Waiting for ideal conditions complicates life, making it heavier and harder to bear. Stoicism urges us to face adversity and act despite challenges. In fact, it is through adversity that we grow and refine ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoics, exemplified this as a Roman emperor, facing wars, plagues, and enormous responsibilities. Instead of waiting for easier times, he chose to act. He recorded deep reflections and meditations, an inspiring guide that helped him maintain strength amid difficulties. Think about your own life. Maybe you want to start exercising to improve your health, but every morning the biting cold makes you hesitate. In those moments, a Stoic would remind themselves that the body is not the master, the mind is. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, "At dawn, when you have difficulty getting out of bed, tell yourself, I need to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain about if I'm going to do what I was born to do?" Getting out of bed on a cold morning may seem like a small challenge, but overcoming it builds willpower and responsibility. Acting despite discomfort doesn't mean rushing into things recklessly. Instead, it's a reminder to face life's small inconveniences, step by step, building resilience along the way. Start with small actions. Tidy up a corner of your desk instead of the entire room, write one paragraph instead of a whole chapter, or take a short walk instead of a long one. These small actions not only get things done, but also create psychological momentum to tackle bigger challenges. When you hesitate to start, ask yourself, if I don't do this now, will I be closer to my goal? This simple question brings you back to the bigger picture of life and drives you to act immediately. This is how the Stoics view time and responsibility. Don't let imperfect conditions become an excuse. See them as opportunities to prove your character and grow stronger every day. Imagine a moment when you struggled to wake up early and complete a task. The warmth of the bed, the silence, and the temptation of laziness tried to keep you there longer. But if in that moment, you remembered that you weren't born to surrender to comfort, but to act, something extraordinary would happen. The reluctance would disappear, replaced by determination. Overcoming this small challenge doesn't just complete the task, it means a victory over yourself, a milestone that builds confidence and willpower. By acting, even when inconvenient, you send a powerful message to yourself. You are strong enough to control your life. The Stoics value discipline because it forms the foundation of a meaningful existence. Imagine yourself facing a challenging project, feeling exhausted and uninspired. Instead of waiting for motivation to come to you, you decide to take the smallest possible step, jotting down the tasks ahead. Strangely, this simple act creates momentum. Step by step, you move forward, and little by little, the project begins to take shape. At the end of the day, when you look back with pride, you realize a deep truth: you controlled yourself, rather than being governed by circumstances. Applying Stoicism doesn't require dramatic changes overnight. The key is to start with manageable, small actions. If you're faced with a messy house, don't feel overwhelmed. Start by organizing one corner. You'll see that completing this small task brings satisfaction, which encourages you to continue. Gradually, the chaos disappears without exhausting you. This process not only organizes your physical space, but also clears your mind, one action at a time. Remember that time is the only resource we cannot regenerate. Procrastination isn't just senseless, it's how we lose the precious opportunities life offers us. Acting despite imperfect conditions isn't just necessary, it's how you assert control over your life. Perfection doesn't exist. All you have is the present, and the present is the only moment to start. So the question remains, what are you waiting for? We've explored deep Stoic lessons on how to use time wisely, from saying no to unnecessary distractions and prioritizing what truly matters to acting, even when it's inconvenient. All of this leads to a fundamental truth: time is the most precious gift life offers. But this gift isn't meant to be stored, it's meant to be spent, to live fully and meaningfully. As Seneca wisely said, while we're postponing, life is passing by. Procrastination only robs us of the chance to live a complete and fulfilling life. So live with the urgency of someone who understands that time is the greatest treasure, not to fear, but to act, love, contribute, and make every moment unforgettable. If you found this video helpful and haven't liked it yet, do so now to help us spread positive values across the community. Share this video with friends and family, especially with those who might need inspiration to use their time more wisely and live more meaningfully. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the incredible content we've prepared. We have many valuable Stoic lessons coming your way. Thank you for your support, and see you in the next video.